So in 2015, so my whole dream, my life was to open a youth center. That's what I thought I was going to do. Is open a youth center and it'd be like the world renowned youth center for teens, then blah, 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 blah. And in 2015, it was supposed to happen. I had a 40,000 square foot building this woman was giving to me. She spent $1.5 million on a skateboard park. Like, I mean, the place was amazing. I want to say epic, and that was its name. It was epic. Long story short, she was going to give it to me and I was going to run the youth center out of it. And then it just didn't work out. There was like this moment it didn't work out. And so that was where I spent about a year really self-reflecting and feeling like, who is Ned? Who is Ned? Who is Ned? Because this thing I was supposed to do in life didn't work out. Like, that was my purpose. That was finally going to fulfill what God wanted me to do, and it didn't work out. And so, I spent a lot of time at the beach in Northern California and kind of came to this realization that as a man, I want to be respected, valued, needed, loved, and know that I'm leaving a mark on this earth. And I was searching for that in a skate park or in a job or a career, or blah, 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 blah. And I realized that those things could be found in my home. And so that was really when I started investing more into my family. And that's where Rebel and Create, that little mantra, was born, to rebel against the idea that my purpose is out there somewhere else in the world, and that I could create a home where I'm fulfilled. And then what's so cool is once I did that, then my wife is more fulfilled and my kids are more fulfilled because I'm putting this energy into them versus something I'm building outside of my home.
Yeah, I feel this the passion you just brought up right here and the way you're speaking right now. That is the Ned that I have known since day one, and just to hear that, you know, 7 years ago this incident happened, and we don't need to recap every detail. I'm curious as to when this did happen. You went in this journey of self-reflection, and you woke up and realized that it's right here. The family is right here. My purpose is right here. Can you take me back to, when you felt that it was from the external, from there, and then it became the inner with the family, that year or that moment? Help us understand what shifted for you, please.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things, right? But moments that come to mind is one, sitting on the beach, leaning up against um this tree. Uh I was staring out at the ocean, watching the waves, and I was just really like, what matters most? And when everything was carved away, I was like, man, my marriage matters so much to me, and it's so important for my kids' stability in life, for this. And then, I was thinking in that same moment how hard I had worked to get, kids to come to youth group and go pick up kids and try to get the football kids to want to come and try to make it cool for the skater kids. I'm like jockeying so hard for somebody else's kids. And I remember actually one time driving to this guy's house. Okay. I'm going to get this teenage girl. She's like 16, probably. Home life is not that great. And she's coming to youth group for 2 hours a week. And I'm thinking, man, I get 2 hours to try to impart some wisdom to her. Her dad sees her every morning, every night, is there for, is around. This mother effer should be the one, like, really helping her in her life. Not that I didn't want to, not that I don't think like a youth leader is important to have like outside, but I just realized, dude, her dad is sending her with me, hoping she's going to change because she spent 2 hours with me versus him really showing up for her. So there was this conviction that, okay, so like the underlying thing is, if I really wanted to have the largest youth center in the world, I don't need to go solve other kids' problems. I need to help dads in their own homes lead their families well. And the thing is if they were to do that, their sense of fulfillment would be so deep. It would be so deep. So that all kind of happened in reading journals and reflecting on things that were going on in that year. And those were two things that happened that really led me to have that conviction that my number one role and purpose in life is to love and serve my family, and to die to myself doing it, and to serve them, not this top of the pyramid patriarch, but this flip that pyramid upside down, serve from the bottom up, and like go to battle for it, right? Like, this is the battle we're fighting for.
Mm. I just want to honor and appreciate you for everything you just shared. One of the things that really resonated most to me is you sat down, you were there in California, you sat down and asked the question, what matters most? And I think that surface level, many people may ask that question once in their life, if ever, what matters most. they may not go that deep into it, and you had a place where you were at a crossroads and you sat down, you asked that question, what matters most. I wonder, as someone who, when I look at you now, and I'm sure our listeners can feel this, you have so much conviction, so much passion for who you are or for your family and for how you serve as leader and as father. I wonder, how often might you ask yourself now or affirm to yourself now that same question, what matters most? I mean, how does that play a part in your life right now?
Great question. So it really, it has to be at least an annual thing, if not more often. So what I have done the last few years is I remember, being involved in church. I remember seeing the pastor go on like a 1 week retreat or a couple day retreat to like, okay, what are we doing this next year? And then you see CEOs do the same thing. They're going to go on a couple day retreat a year, like what matters for our business. So maybe 7 years ago, I started doing that for my family. I'm like, whoa, I may not be a pastor of a church forever, this church forever. I may not be the CEO of this company forever, but I'm the father of this family forever. So you better believe it matters for me to go do some self reflection, to go read my journals, to go ask some questions of myself, like what matters most. So if it's at least annually, I'm asking that question.